Hey guys, Ladylocks here, and today I have got this ASSA lock with barrel spools in it. This is an ASSA 600 with barrel spools. Here they are, the evil twisted barrels. And check out the spring on this one. It's one of these heavy duty ones that has that pinched part in the middle. Those are usually super heavy duty springs, just evil springs, and they just work against you so bad because they're pushing these barrels down and you're trying to get them up and to stay up, and they're just terrible pins to pick. So I wanted to share with you today that I found a new way to pick them. I've been working on a different lock, and this other lock has barrel spools in it, and I worked and picked them so much that I found a quite nice way to pick barrel spools. So this is what's in this lock. It's got all those yucky barrels, and then we've got we've got the counter milling as well. Let's see if I can get it to show. There you go. You can see all the counter milling in each chamber. Getting each piece of the barrel up through the counter milling and getting the pins set is what just makes it so difficult to pick. I recently picked an ASSA flex core, and it had no counter milling, and it just picked like a regular, it just picked regular. I just kind of clicked them up and didn't have to do anything fancy. I didn't have to really work to get them picked. But this one with that counter milling, it just makes it so evil. The barrels are just terrible pins, and that is actually the keyway on this. So it's pretty open, but you can have the most open keyway in the world on barrel spools, and they're just horrible to pick. So I found a nice way to pick them, and I wanted to show you guys because it reduced my time on this lock from about maybe 10-11 minutes to about 2 minutes. So I wanted to show you guys because I think it's worth sharing. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's several videos out there on how to pick barrel spools and just methodically, working them up into the counter milling. You get them all up to the first stage, and then you have to work them all up to the second stage. And it's when I first saw that and tried it, it was horrible, and I did such a bad job picking barrel spools. So I was picking a couple other locks with barrel spools. I just found a really great way to pick them, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what exactly I'm doing. And I don't know, I think if you guys try it out, and it's something you have to work with until you get the pressure right on everything, but if you try it out, I really would like to know how you guys do with it. So I'm going to show you, and let's see if I can get this picked pretty quickly and see if it changes much on this lock, because like I said, this one took me about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this little method that I tried, and it actually works. All right, guys. So here is the S600 with barrel spools. All right, here's the bitting one more time. And for this, I'm going to use top of keyway tension, and I'm going to use a really strong and tough pick. This is Sparrow's Monstrum, and it's 25 thousandths, and it's just meant to be just a bulldozer. So I'm going to be using medium tension. I'm just going to use some scooping motions like this, kind of like a backwards C. I'm going to go up to the pin on the side of the pin, and then I'm going to push it kind of like this the entire way through the lock. And I'm going to take little bites of the pins, very small little motions on the pins, because they're barrels and they have to actually still be picked in stages, even though we're not going to follow the traditional, how you would pick them in stages, but they do still need to go up in small amounts. You can't really set an entire barrel spool, going ever. They all have to go in little stages. So if you just take little tiny pieces of them and little tiny picks of them, but using this stronger pick, just gonna go ahead and push each one up, and like I said, I'm going to the corner of the pin, and I'm kind of scooping it in a scoopy motion. And if you find that you can't get one, just let up tension just a little bit. You definitely want to just be using kind of medium tension. There we go, medium tension on these. All right, this is a little short for the job I need it for, but we're still going to use it. All right. And just little tiny scoops here. You're going to hear that as well too. Oh, there you go. You're going to hear that kind of squeaky sound as well. That squeaking sound is the pins actually finishing going up. So I'm going to gut it so you guys can see all the barrels are actually in here, and I wasn't just picking it with a couple barrels. So let's get this gutted. But yeah, much easier way to pick these guys than really focusing on the stages and counting them. You know, okay, all the pin, you know, pin 1 and 3 is in stage 1, pin, you know, whatever is in stage 1. It's just a lot to remember all the stages, and picking straight up and down also kind of destroys your pick. Barrel spools are really hard on your pick, and you know, you have to normally still use that heavier tension to pick them because it's hard to get them up, but using that little kind of backwards C motion, it really helps to move them very easily. So I mean, you could see how quick that was. Now this lock was something that would normally take me about 10 to 15 minutes to pick, because barrels are just really treacherous little pins. So let's take these out. All right. But yeah, I'd really like to know if anybody will try this and let me know, you know, what they think of it. If it helps. It does take a little practice to get the tension right and to get the amount of force you're using on the pins right. But once you get that figured out, it's just great. I kind of like these less than I like gin spools. Gin spools are pretty rough to pick as well, but barrels I think are right up there with them. So, whoop, that one flew on out. All right. So yeah, fully pinned. All 6 pins. But yeah, it's just a way better method to pick them, I feel like, and I'd like to know if anybody can try it and let me know how they do with it as well. I'm gonna pop one of the springs out to show you guys these treacherous springs that are in here too. I'll just put it right there. So yeah, check this out. All these yucky little barrel spools, but that really made it so much easier to pick, and I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because it turns that barrel spool just the tiniest bit to pick it on this corner, and maybe it kind of sneaks it up kind of past the counter milling in an angle maybe. I'm not really sure, but it works like a charm. And yeah, check out the springs. The springs are really, really hard on these two. They're very tough springs. They've got that little middle piece in there. It's pressed. So they're just really forcing these pins back down at you. And yeah, you're continuously trying to get them up through all this counter milling. I recently picked a 5-pin barrel spool lock with no counter milling, and just the difference in how easy it was compared to how hard these are was just crazy. But yeah, that's kind of like barrel spools made easy. I hope that somebody will give it a try. Let me know if you get the hang of it and if you find it a better way to pick them. This lock previously took me 10 minutes, over 10 minutes. I think it was like 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and that was my best time on it. So my new best time is under 2 minutes because of this method, and I just want to see if it helps anybody else. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Like I said, if you like this video, please click the like button, and if you like my channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.